The war against new ideas. Hello, I'm Chris Athanas. I'm a KMP developer. Tech support said they're coming out. Close that thing up finally on Tuesday. I mean, I put a new ticket in and everything, but we'll see if I get the parts out. I'm going to be responding to this video by Rich Gilbert. Go give him a like and subscribe. 555. The war against thinking. Be careful with new ideas. Yeah, anytime something new comes out, anytime somebody comes up with something different that hasn't been something or something slightly changed, switched it up, oh yeah, people are going to get a lot of static. And I don't know, I got a little bit of allergies today. So sorry about wiping my nose, but I just have to deal with that. All right, so we're going to, anytime you come up with something new, people are going to attack it. And if you look at the comment section, some people get real mad about talking about get rid of their CI/CD pipeline. Oh, you took my CI/CD pipeline away. Yeah, maybe you don't need it. Maybe you don't need to test the database library. Maybe we can just trust that it works. I don't know. Maybe we can trust that they tested it and we can just use it since it's got 5,500 stars on GitHub and everyone everyone just uses it by default because it just works. Okay, here we go.
If you're one of those people that come up with new ideas and look at the right way of doing things that might be different than what other people are doing, and I'm talking really, new ideas, the ideas that the group at least around you has not heard. It can be a small group, large group, doesn't matter. You might have noticed a pattern in your life about introducing new ideas, and with people that don't necessarily follow immediately, and people that just normal people. And
if your idea is big enough, yes, this is the standard pattern of the fool, right? The guy that's setting out on a new thing, he's jumping off the cliff. There's a lot of people that are like, hey, you dummy, you're about to jump off, and nobody's done that before. Why are you going off the edge of the earth? There be dragons. There be dragons, right? It's like, this is what you get, the warning at the edge of the map. Right here, it's right here. Forward from here, there are 12 dragons. This is the first thing you get from people. Like, are you crazy?
That pattern has persisted over millennia. There's always been this sort of skepticism and fear of intellectuals and new ideas. And we can go right back to Copernicus and Plato and all kinds of historic figures that, and even Jesus Christ and even before that have had this treatment. And the treatment is pretty clear. There's first, when you introduce a new idea, there's mocking, right?
You might get on a pit plan.
People will mock you. They will think it's the most ridiculous thing they've ever heard. How stupid can you be to come up with this idea that the earth would revolve around the sun? That is ridiculous. You can look, any fool can plainly see that you look outside the window and the sun is moving. The sun is going up.
Yeah, how dare you introduce fun into a software development process that's been streamlined by McKinsey and the MBAs at our Harvard and Yale. They have got the check boxes that all you need is to fill those out, and don't worry about adventure or courage or creativity. No, you just take orders, buddy. Get on the production line.
Up, the sun is going down. You're stupid. You're an idiot, right?
Yeah,
so you get mocked. I'll go into more practical examples.
You're crazy.
than that. After that comes the attacks. Right? This threatens the church. This threatens our way of life. This threatens our entire belief. If the earth is not the center of the universe, then what is that? Where does that put humanity in terms of God?
So when I bring up a new idea, bring up a new thing, I expect to be going up against this stuff. These are the trolls in the comment section. Here's me climbing up. I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? Is there even a prize over here? No, I'm not winning anything. What are you talking about?
And blah 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 blah. And so, this can go on for a while, right? You can get attacked. People get really threatened by new ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why exactly, but I'm not even talking conservatives or liberals or anything like that.
No, it's just a type, right? It's the preserver type who haven't really dug all the way down deep like the destroyer creators love to get into. Destroyer creators love to get into the guts of all this junk, right? But the preserver types, who are the people you're going to be talking to most of the time, look, it's the big hump in the middle here, this big thing. It's not this 2% over here who will either get it or ignore you. They don't care. They're doing their own mission, right? So, but these guys are the ones you're trying to sell because they're the biggest group that are already in power. They're doing the thing, right? So they're the ones that'll be like, no, you haven't considered all the things. I have a checklist of things, right? And he's like, give them the checklist of things. And the story's like, screw that checklist. And then he goes, and then he's always in cahoots with a creator type. Destroyer creators, he can be the same person, or they have different aspects of themselves. They can go in and out flexibly, but it's usually two different people. One guy's got all the different ideas. This guy's like, most of them suck, But if you get rid of this risk, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, then this thing could go, oh, the special path is the new true one path, right? Or another valid path. How about that? Another valid path doesn't have to be the one true path, but you can see there's other preservers on other mountains who have a different path that works for them. Okay, that's all we're getting to.
I'm talking people in general will attack you personally for introducing new ideas that they are unfamiliar with.
Absolutely.
Then after a period of time after that, there becomes an acceptance. And it's not like an acceptance like, oh yeah, Rich was right? Bob, he totally nailed it. Wow, that new idea was really great. No. It's an acceptance of like, I knew that all along. Of course, course, the Earth revolves around the sun. Of course, it's math, right? It's physics. Of course we know this, right? So there's a bunch of examples of this. But what I want to say is just be careful. If you are one of these free thinkers, and everybody likes to think of themselves as free thinkers, everybody is not a free thinker. Most of us, just many people just do what they're told and think what they're told to think. For
the most of things that are going on, yes. But in tech, it's so new. It's still new. It's only 50 years maybe that people have had these things in their hands and be able to critique them and talk about them. And they've always been given as the stuff that was there that was slightly just better than the stuff that we had before. We haven't seen the computer revolution yet. So yeah, so this is where third it gets accepted as self-evident, right? When microcomputers first came out, if you're into that stuff, there's something wrong with you. You're into diodes and WAS is like a 4-bit adder. What are you talking about? Like, why is this important? It's like, yeah. So that, but now he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you saw it back then. It's like, yeah, well, he was just down the pit further before you. He was spelunking before there was a road installed and guardrails.
I value new ideas. I value thinking about things that are outside of the box and crushing the box, because why not, right? And why not think through these things, and that there might be a better way of doing things.
Well, because
if you are one of those people,
doesn't want to do all that stuff.
Because I'm sure you've noticed.
The preserver doesn't want to do all that stuff. He wants to be handed the one true way. This guy's already figured out all the different paths, right? He's got the one true way up the mountain. And this guy just says, you just cut away the things that you don't need anymore. You can get to some new stuff, right? You have to it's like what do you bring to the table? It's like, no, what are you willing to give up to get the new thing? Because this destroyers always go like, oh, if you just take the new thing, it's fine. It's like, well, they get to give up a thing too. So how are you going to compensate for the giving up as well? That's the other thing too. It's like it has to be substantially better to give up the thing that they've already worked with and trust they know they can lean on, right? These guys are in production. These guys are in the marketplace making money, making deals, getting things done, right? These guys are sometimes on the outskirts, kind of meandering in sometimes, and sometimes not. And these guys are always hunting around for things. Usually they're employed by these guys, but these guys can sneak in and peel one of these guys off every once in a while and bring something new to the table.
Notice this pattern.
Chaotic.
I'm sure with friends, with family, with colleagues and coworkers, you've noticed that you get the mockery, attack, and then of course we should do it this way.
Yeah.
And it's a very dangerous position when you're in this mockery and attack, because the first one makes you look like a bozo in front of everyone.
And most people that bring this stuff up are bozos. Let's be real honest about this. Not all these ideas that this guy comes up with, the things should be destroyed, and all the stuff this guy comes up with is actually very good. Has to pass through the filter of this guy who knows it can be leaned on and worked with and dealt with and actually make a business on top of, right?
Everybody, and granted, not every new idea is a good idea. Not every new idea works out.
No, definitely
not. But you stand the risk of looking like an idiot if it doesn't work out, and even if it does, these people have moved on from this. They don't even acknowledge that they were once mocking and then attacking.
That's why I love this Western mythology that has this spirit inside them that, from the outside, it looks like the fool. But the next card in the series is the magician. He's like bringing new things to life that weren't there before and automatically appeared out of the ethers somehow. Because this guy sees the vision first. He sees the vision. It may not be clear. It may never get there. But there's a vision in his mind about what it could be, and that's the foolishness.
This whole idea. I don't even think they realize it. Right? I think there's a time lag thing, or a protection system within people to forget what their ignorance was.
Yeah, of course.
And then when people are attacking the idea, because it threatens, any change threatens the status quo, threatens their career, threatens their power base. That's trouble. That's a real threat. It's not, people will take action at that point and try and snuff you out. And then the acceptance, you're out of the picture. You're, as an intellectual, many times
Right.
you are, it wasn't
Right.
your idea. Of course, we all know this.
Right. That's the whole thing, right? Steve Jobs got kicked out of the company that he founded, had the vision for, created the immense markets and all this stuff. Kicked out. It's common. That is the standard story. That's not exceptional. That's normal. That's regular old. This is just the straight line. So if you're going to be getting involved with new things, you may have your day in the sun, but there's definitely going to come a time when you're just no longer present, and the thing you're talking about is just accepted as the thing. So strange.
I'll give you a couple examples. Electric cars. And I know Elon Musk is used a lot in examples of genius and so on. Just hear me out. With electric cars as a concept, 15, 20 years ago, people were tinkering with electric cars. Tesla was a company that was not owned by Elon Musk, and it wasn't, it was just a couple dudes in a garage building, cool electric cars. Really nothing, nothing special. And I'm sure they got mocked for making electric cars. Why would you do that? Elon Musk buys the company and he gets mocked. Why would you get electric cars? We have perfectly good vehicles. We can increase the gas mileage. We can do hybrid, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we had electric cars before we had the internal combustion ones. And why did the internal combustion ones get popular? Well, because it wasn't just the technology. They were loud. They made a lot of smoke. You had to have this technical expertise to run them. It was like a dude thing. It was like a specialist nerd dude, like showing off thing, because they didn't really break all the time. They weren't very regular. It was these guys. Who brought the internal combustion engine on. These guys. Because everyone else was doing electric or horse and buggy and everything. These guys are just gonna be a punk rock about it. That's what happened.
Then it started to get traction, right? He had a good business model. He went for the high end. Started with the Roadster and kind of improving that, and then going for the S, which high end electric vehicle, which nobody had really thought about before. And then it became a status symbol, right? It became like, so there's this group of people that are like, yeah, of course electric vehicles are awesome. But at the same time, there are established companies like Ford, GM, Toyota, whoever, that are not on with this. They threatened the heck out of this, right? They were, this was adamant that this guy's going down. And they took all kinds of action to take him out. Well, fast forward a few years,
sure,
of course we should have electric vehicles. Lower emissions, they're so fast, and blah, 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 we got the plaid, and blah, 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 blah. Of course, we love electric vehicles. Yeah, sure. Until the cycle continues. Now, I don't know if you know, a couple years ago, people started questioning electric vehicles. Be like, why, we need more copper. We need 10 times the amount of copper to make this work in the next 10 years or so. We have never done that as an industrial plant to increase a industrial input by 2x in 10 years, 10x, no way. Plus the lithium, plus the, all these other things. It's going to be very difficult. Additionally, it doesn't really help CO2 emissions because the aluminum smelting of the frame is really intense. Blah blah blah. All these things. People started talking about electric vehicles bad. What happens? They get mocked. Wow, how can you be such an idiot? Of course, electric vehicles are amazing. No. They're actually, it takes 100,000 miles of driving the thing to equal an internal combustion engine CO2 emission. You're not even saving on that. Well, after that, they start getting attacked, right? Like if you think about the CEO of Toyota, a few years ago, he came out and he's like, hey guys, electric vehicles are nice and all, but we're not into it. We looked at it and we're not doing this. We're not playing this game. The hybrids are much better. He got creamed. He got attacked. What an idiot. Well, now we're starting to get a chorus of people as we see, China, dumping electric vehicles around the world and thinking, you know what? Of course that's a problem. Of course there's we can't do this sustainably with the batteries. We don't even know what to do with them when they're dead, right? It just fills up landfills and leaks toxic materials into the, and now people are starting to get into this like acceptance phase. Like, of course I knew this all along. Now, so electric vehicles, we've seen the whole cycle. So this happens with nearly every new idea that you can introduce to something. So be careful. In a company, it
goes through these cycles all over around again. A lot of the stuff I'm talking about, this adventure-driven stuff, was the thing that Agile tried to do, but they did it 4 sentences. They let some things off, and people filled the gap with conference-driven development, book-driven development, and the courses and the licensing and the Scrum certifications and all that stuff. But I'm trying to bring it back. It's like, no, we don't have any of that stuff here. I'm bringing it up right away in the document and saying, look, this stuff's bad. All this certification stuff, you can't do it that way. It's a voluntary thing. You can't do a lean. You can't just drop a lean process and like just make a wish to save money and everything. It's like, that's not it. It's this courage stuff. It's having the type of personality that wants to go for it. And it's a volunteer in, so you can't replace your your process, your existing process. It's not what it's for. It's for somebody that says, "Oh, I might have some insights that there might be a cave opening on here, which is some problem that you can solve with the technology at your disposal that you can do in a profitable way, right? That you can do yourself. How you can get up here, and then attacking. This is the customer, right? That you're trying to like meet all the needs to get the golden chalice here. So you're meeting all the objections. You're doing all the salesy stuff. He's like, okay, I'm trying to do this, and what do you do that? So I'm already doing it this way. You're not better. It's like, okay, how can I be better? Well, I can do this and do that, and maybe this happen. I can put this over here, like all that stuff. That's dealing with this monster, this dragon, and that's an opt-in thing. And this is from after people usually going around in these things for a while. You target tunnels of fake agile doom, the scrum coaches, death marches, car culting, tar pits of seemingly good ideas. Let's start a social media. Let's do a crypto. Let's do an AI. Let's do a blockchain. Lava lakes of direct a competition copycats. Low price later. Dungeon grind. Jira bird down slugs. Feature factory. Big design up front. Waterfall. Lots of coordination. Proving legacy products. Or lead mine. Oh, we got some technology, but we don't have a problem yet that we don't have any idea about the solutions for. But we have technology. It's like you get good at making these things, right? Oh, now you're a dev agency, consultancy, mercenary, contracting, building somebody else's dream, right? And then eventually you're like, okay, fuck, I gotta do it. Then it's the risk, right? Then we're dealing with all this stuff, courage, along with the creativity. So it's like having a solution to a problem and the courage to do it. Woof. Having both is so rare because you gotta be foolish because you fail and it hurts. It hurts. All that time and all that money just because you missed one thing and you went too far and too fast and you built something that nobody wanted. Ugh.
Corporation, you can come in and you can rightly say, hey, I know a better way of doing this, right? Software development, right? We should automate these systems. We should make sure that people have these tools, and we should organize the team like this, right? Some new idea. That will get mocked, right? If you introduce any sort of new idea in your company, and I'm not talking like, oh yeah, I'm in marketing and I have a new marketing idea. It's going to be the same as the old marketing idea, just a little tweaked.
Yeah.
I'm talking doing.
Those are the ones that are accepted because that's on the edge of this preserver. Like it's the thinnest little slice of going to the next thing while shaving off the thin little slice of this is very comfortable for the box ticker because you're not asking for a massive change. You're not asking to wipe out all of his checkboxes. You're just adding a checkbox and removing one.
Something crazy like putting advertising in the urinals. There was a company back in the late 90s that put advertising. It was like buy.com. Put advertising pucks in the urinal, so people would be at the urinal and look down and see buy.com. Clever, but that's a kind of a new idea. Not now, but
now if you've been to strip clubs, they've been doing that for a long time.
I'm talking about bringing new ideas to work. You will get mocked. Be careful. You will first get mocked. Oh, that won't work here. That can't work here. Then people start realizing you have traction. People start realizing you're actually trying to implement it. They will attack you. They will attack you. They will try to.
They have to. This is the training. Look, man. These guys have been in sales calls a lot of sales calls because they're trying to figure out what to do. They've gotten lucky or kind of have some sense of things, but they know how to do objections. They're awesome with the objections. They've learned from the best about all the objections, right? From these guys. They've been trained. So you got to meet all those ones. Yeah. You better be coming in with something good, man. Or go back to the drawing board and go down in a tar pit. Or go down a tunnel of fake agile doom, do your time, and just be thinking on the side, like, how do I approach this? And then make your run.
Headline, you push you out, whatever. And you might have seen, and I'm sure I'm going to see comments where people get into this situation. I've been in this situation for sure, right? With reorganizing an entire department when nobody really wanted that except the CEO. Right. But it was painful, and they attack. They will always attack.
They have to.
And then afterwards, right, when when this starts getting.
They have to. Big smart guy that comes in and changes everything. We had a good year before you showed up. We had this thing humming like a smart. Now we didn't make much money, and now that wasn't our biggest focus. The money, sales, but no, we had this thing tuned in before you came along and started screwing with stuff.
being implemented, and when people start seeing like, holy moly, we're just doing great. This really works.
Yeah, if you
It's all
start
acceptance.
getting
It's like,
paid
oh,
better,
I knew this from the beginning. Of course it's going to work. Of course
focus
we should
back on
organize
the
that.
right stuff.
And
I'm trying to. This is a money-making operation. Not here for our health or social environment. I know because I know it collapsed, and I want this to be your social club. But we're here to make money. Come on now.
any fool can plainly see that we should organize in this way, and we should automate there and change this. Where are you in this equation? You're out. You're out. You might have gotten out in the mocking phase. You might have gotten pushed out in the attack phase. But by that acceptance phase, if you're still there, congratulations, because that is not common. And you think about like American history or any history of where you have pioneers, they get killed often by the locals. They get attacked. Huge, right? It's the settlers that make all the money. The settlers are like, oh yeah, this is great land. So this also works with startups.
Scaling up the walls of the castle. Oh yeah, you're gonna take some hits. You're probably gonna get a little brain damage from these rocks pummeling down your head. And once you're inside, you're all crippled up. It's like, oh, thanks for breaching the wall and taking the castle. And we'll put a little statue out front for you.
When you have new startup ideas, most people will mock you. Most people will say how ridiculous.
Hey man, if you're not in startups not getting mocked, you're not making anybody. You're not trying to make any waves. You're just doing a thin slice, right? You're doing a little thin slice here. But if you're gonna get mocked, it's like, oh, okay, man, I'm picking up some heat, picking up some flack. I'm over the target. Picking up heat. Now, what do I need to do? Am I going to take it all personal like Woz did in that store? Man, this is the best technology ever. Or you go like, oh, you just want a keyboard and a mouse and kind of display? Like Jobs is going, oh, we always listen to the same objections. Woz going all butthurt. Man, I mean, he's correct. He's technically correct. It was the most advanced thing in the store, correct. But he wasn't getting in there. Didn't know how Jobs like, oh, you're telling me exactly what I need to hear. And by the way, everything that you just asked for is in this store right here. And he just told that guy that. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. I can make a lot of money that way when I put them all together like that. And then Jobs is like, the next one is like, oh, we're putting it together. Just slap the case on there. I know some design guys. I hang out with hippies all the time, so we're gonna get some real cool looking stuff. Get everything all dialed in, put it together, logos, everything. Yeah. That's how you do it.
It is until at the end stage in their acceptance, it's like, well, of course I knew generative AI was going to be a thing. Of course this is just another step in the development of technology. So my advice on this is to be careful with new ideas. If you are a free thinker
or not, or just take the heat. See it as a growth experience. A lot of people just don't want to look foolish. They're not willing to put their neck on the line for anything. So they also don't get the glory of when you actually do hit when something hits. There's no awards given out for people being right, but the awards are given out for taking risks on stuff. They're not. A lot of stuff that was attempted is like, why are you doing that? It's like, well, I think there's people that think like me out there somehow, somewhere, and I'm gonna put this together for them. And like, well, I don't know any people like that. Yeah, well, have you been looking? Do you even care? It's like that kind of stuff. It's really that kind of stuff.
If you come up with new ideas, be careful.
You can be foolish. Just be willing to take in heat and recognize when you start getting objections, you're making sales. If you take it the right way, it could be turned into sales. It really could be. If you're there, be able to build a shield here and poke these guys out, or say, hey, I'll give you $20 if you stop throwing rocks at me. Or something like that, how do you deal with these guys better? Maybe you can't fight them directly. It's like, we have really good cookies and snacks.
I speak with a few people in my coaching practice that have this issue, and they don't understand why. They get attacked from all sides, and they're like, hey, this is a good idea. Yes, it probably is a good idea, but you got to be very, very.
They don't know about the creator, preserver, destroyer model. They don't know about the 3 Hindu gods. They don't know because they never heard from me. Because I've got 1,600 subs.
Very, very careful about how you present that, and I can talk about how to build coalitions and socialize ideas in future videos. But this video is for a warning. Just if you're an intellectual, if you're smart, if you come up with new ideas, know that this pattern exists. Yeah. It's existed for hundreds of years, probably thousands.
It's human nature. Come on now. This is how the universe works, right? This is the filter here. The preserver is the filter on the evolution of our social world, social, technical, business, how we meet needs world is always in process. This is not going to stop. This is how it goes. This is evolution. Do you think evolution just all of a sudden one day grew an extra arm through, then had these eyes pop? I don't know. Maybe we did. But there was a whole bunch of tries that didn't quite work out until one did. Come on now.
Thousands, and you just need to manage it if you're going to be coming up with new ideas. In corporations today.
Get ready for hey, look. See, he's saying it's like kind of bad, and I understand if it kind of feels bad. But if you understand, like Jobs is like, oh, you're telling me all the things I need to do, which may be harsh, maybe a lot, maybe I can handle it, maybe I can't. But you're telling me everything I need to put together so I can sell you, right? That's really what's going on, because this guy does want something better. He would like to have the actual truth of what the universe is, the one true religion, the one way, the one checklist. He would love to have that. And if you can meet his objections and bring something new and let go of something that wasn't working, oh, that's what he's looking for. He's not trying to fight you. He's just pissed off at the situation as much as you are.
Today,
he just has no solution. He may not even know what the problem is.
My thoughts on this: they don't like somebody jumping out of their box, doing a whole bunch of other things. That's what you're doing with a new idea.
Yeah.
That's what you are you're bringing to the table. So unless you've been invited for new ideas, like consulting, you can do this.
Or you invite in. You're rarely invited to be the destroyer. But if you're clearing the way for a creator, maybe people will come to your party. This is not rocket science.
But often they bring old ideas. They just modify them for that company.
That's fine.
So the really truly fresh new ideas. They get
if you're listening this far, you're going to be out on this ledge. But there's a lot of sales to be done right here. A lot of people, if they could just tone it back a notch, well, maybe not me, but like, okay, I have done this before. You tone it back a notch or two and just meet their expectations more than they thought. And they're happy with it instead of going, oh, you're being crazy and wild and foolish. What are you doing? You're on the ledge. You're about to fall.
They get attacked, company. So the really, truly fresh new ideas, they get mocked, they get attacked, and then they get accepted. Of course, we do this all the time. So which side are you on? Are you on the new idea side, or are you on the mock attack?
On different things in your life, different aspects of your life, you're at different levels of this thing, depending on which phase you're in. Like, what are you good? What have you been doing? What are you interested in? Where are you going with it? Everyone has this stuff. It's not just tech; it's the entire universe, entire world. It's all set up like this.
Accepted side. I don't know. I think we play both sides often. So I hope you are having an awesome day. I hope you are.
I am. Go give him a like and subscribe. Hey, I gotta get going here on this trip, and I'm gonna go do some stuff for a little while, and then I'll come back and I'll talk to y'all later.